So I'm gathering some mullein to make a tincture. So I thought that I would take a little second and talk about this medicine. So mullein is this plant. And so mullein, the botanical name is Verbascum thapsus. It's in the Scrophulariaceae, the figwort family. Some other common plants, well, a common one that people might know from their gardens are foxglove, also penstemon, beard's tongue. Those are in the Scrophulariaceae as well. They're very closely related to the mints. They're in the mint order, the lamiales, botanically. So mullein is non-native, and it is a biennial. So what that means is that it grows in a 2-year cycle. The first year, it grows in what's called a basal rosette, which is what this is. So it's basically all the leaves grow from the base and form this distinct rosette shape like a rose. So that's the first year, and then the second year it'll shoot up this long stalk and produce flowers, and then those will produce seeds. And then after that it'll die off, but once it's produced seeds, more will grow. So it has a perennial effect, but it only lives for 2 years. And those flower stalks are very distinct. They look like these giant torches, and they have bright yellow flowers at the top that are basically like little flames. And so that's why it's gotten, over the years, many colloquial names referring to its torch-like appearance. Actually, here's an old stalk right here. So this is the stalk. It's a little smooshed from the rain, but grows up straight. So it looks like this candle. So some of the old names for it have been torch plant, or hedge taper, hag's taper, candelabria plant, and people have harvested these torch-like flower stalks and used them as wicks, like candle wicks, taking them when they're dry and dipping them in tallow or wax, and then they burn like candles. So that's how it's gotten some of those names. So the parts used of mullein are the leaves and the flowers, but both of those are used kind of for two different things. So the leaves, they're quite fuzzy. Some people mistake them for a plant called lamb's ear, which is a mint, and it's very fuzzy and soft. I find that mullein is a little like less fuzzy and soft and more hairy, and the hairs to be a little bit irritating, but some people use it as toilet paper, to each his own. So some people are irritated by it and some are not. I happen to be someone that is kind of irritated by it, so that's real. But so the leaves are the medicine that's most commonly used, and it's a lung remedy. So basically what it does is it's this nice sedative for irritated lung tissue. It's both demulcent, so moistening, and astringent, so kind of tightening and healing. So it's great for aggravated lungs, and basically as this relaxant to the respiratory membranes. So our lungs are lined with mucosal membranes, and they need to be moist, but they also need to be nourished and tightened. So that's what mullein leaves do. You can use it as tea or as tincture. I prefer it as tincture, but it's a mild flavor, nice and just like vegetal. So it makes a great tea. And then a lot of people do smoke it. I don't smoke much, so I can't speak to that a ton for myself, but one of the aspects of using it as a smoke sort of brings out its expectorant qualities. So that means it helps break up mucus and dampness a little more. So it's already an expectorant as a tincture or as a tea, but adding that smoke and the dryness, really that brings that quality out. So it can be used as a smoke. I would just say be wary if you are extra irritated of those hairs smoking it, which is one of the reasons why I'm a little wary, because I get like quite a rash from it. But so it can be smoked, and then you would dry it for smoking. So you can use, I use nice quality, like the good looking leaves to make tincture. Those are the ones I harvest. not too small, but the ones that are still small enough that they haven't been tarnished by the weather. And then, so the flowers altogether kind of have a whole different medicinal property. They are typically used as an external remedy. They are very pain relieving, a little bit anti-infective, antibacterial, but very anti-inflammatory. So they can be used on any sort of external aggravation like a burn or a wound, but they're especially well known for being used in ear oil formulas along with garlic. So the garlic mullein ear oil is a classic remedy. And the two together sort of fight the pain and the infection of an earache, an ear infection. So that's really that whole wheelhouse of the flowers. And these wild Verbascum thapsus produce just a few little flowers, but there are some cultivated ones. There's this Greek mullein, Olympic mullein is what it's also called, that produces a ton of flowers. So that's what people grow when they're trying to gather the flower medicine for the ear oil. So that's just a little bit about this beautiful plant, and I'm just going to harvest some of it today and make a tincture and then have it on hand for lung issues.